All right. The other story that we are tracking on India Sense, from the path of goodness to the Islamic path now, Syria's history books are literally being rewritten or scrubbed, whichever way you look at it. The new extremist leaders of this war-torn nation come with a history and ideology that are causing deep concerns. And that's the reason why we are raising this issue today. Why? As the country's future is rewritten, the classrooms, the streets, and the very foundation of its society is now going to be reshaped completely by forces which have a very disturbing extremist agenda. Well, the West, what are they trying to do? They've been a mute spectator. They are watching and wondering what will happen next. Remember, they're trying to mainstream Syrian leaders. But that is not what is going to happen. What is going to happen is history will be rewritten. And this report tells you what's happening.
In Syria, the rewriting of history is not just happening on paper, it's happening in the minds of its youth. Last week, the Ministry of Education released a controversial list of amendments to the national curriculum. A new chapter in Syria's educational history began to unfold on its official Facebook page. The changes are striking. Path of goodness is now the Islamic path. A phrase once reserved for moral guidance is now a clear call to religious orthodoxy. But it's not just the language. The list also includes a chilling revision to one of Islam's most sacred verses. The phrase, "Those who have are damned and have gone astray," has been replaced with Jews and Christians. Critics fear that these changes represent more than just a shift in language. They signal a move towards a more ultra-conservative interpretation of Islam, one that risks deepening Syria's already fragile divisions. The word martyr, once a symbol of national sacrifice, is now redefined. No longer someone who died for their country, but someone who gave their life for the sake of God. A subtle but profound shift from patriotism to religious dogma. And that's not all. Entire chapters have been erased. Two of the most telling changes are sections on the origins and evolution of life at the Big Bang Theory. It's a direct strike at scientific inquiry, casting doubt on the very foundations of modern knowledge. Syrian citizens, already grappling with decades of war, are now questioning the future of their children's education. For many, these changes feel like more than mere amendments. While the world watches, tensions rise. A recent snub of Germany's foreign minister by Al-Shara, a refusal to shake hands with a woman, has reignited fears that Syria's new rulers are steering the country towards an Islamic identity that could undermine women's rights and freedoms. As Shara juggles rebuilding, a shattered nation faces the daunting task of earning the trust of Syria's diverse communities, not just in textbooks, but in the very streets that they walk. With elections potentially years away, can he balance his extreme past with the promise of democratic future? In Syria, the ink on history's pages is still drying. But the question remains, who gets to write it? For now, the struggle continues. The pages may turn, but Syria's future is still being written, and its people are watching, waiting, and hoping.